Now, some breaking news in the last hour. Ofgem announced the energy price cap is to rise to £4,279 a year from January, after it was due to rise to £3,549 in October.
Government intervention has meant, of course, that energy bills will be frozen until April next year, with households protected against the upcoming rise.
Well, here to talk to us about what this all means for UK households is consumer champion Will Hodson. Good morning to you. So, look, this is going to be shouldered by the government, this increase, and good news for now, but people will be worried about the future.
That's right. I mean, let's be clear about what this price cap is, what it isn't. So this is the default tariff price cap. In other words, it's what the wholesale market should lead to as a fair price without being ripped off by your energy company. Now, because the wholesale prices are so high, we've had the additional protection of an energy price guarantee. Energy price guarantee price cap, £2,500. What we're seeing today for the default price cap, £4,300. It's irrelevant. For the time being, it's just a menacing spectre beyond the glass of our regulated price. It can't hurt you. Yet. But what you're right to say is it's a clue as to just how much money the government is having to pay to keep our prices affordable. We're paying about £2,500 for average usage. According to Ofgem, what energy companies will be charging the government will be another 40% on top.
And look, the government doesn't have any money of its own. It's our money, so it's still costing us.
Yeah.
Well, that's the most important thing. I mean, you've talked about it being a relief. We've got this price protection. We're in a historic position. Historic because even with the price protection, British bill payers have never paid so much for their energy. But what's even more historic is the government is on the hook like never before for bills up and down the country. You know, the Christmas lights in your neighbour's house, the government is paying for a portion of that. The third bath you have in a given day, the government is paying for a portion of that, which is why the most important thing the government can do is help us all to reduce our energy usage.
Well, we talked about that earlier, because there is to be now a campaign encouraging us to use a lot less energy. Liz Truss's government didn't want to do that, to nanny state. How important is it, you think, that the government do spell out practical ways we can reduce our energy use?
Well, it's completely vital, and it's not the nanny state. This is the state taking care of its own finances.
Right.
At the minute, they're paying 40% of every bill in the country. Liz Truss said, no, I won't tell people what to do. I think very sensibly Rishi Sunak is saying, here's a £25 million campaign to give people some advice. But we need much more than tips and tricks around the house. Britain has got the oldest housing stock in Europe, which means we've got the leakiest homes in Europe as well. What we need is nothing short of a national insulation scheme to help people bring down their bills and the burden of the taxpayer for good.
Look, do you think Insulate Britain, in a way, has made that topic a taboo? Because you seem to be sort of an eco-extremist if you even talk about insulation now, but actually it's a really legitimate point. We are burning money by not having properly insulated homes.
That's exactly it. They've managed to toxify what should be the most uniting brand in the country. It is an absolute no-brainer. For example, if you need to have your loft insulated, it will cost you about £500, not nothing, but it will save you that in the first year alone, and it should last for 40 years. There is no better investment that you can make if you've got the money to do it. So yes, it's a shame that Insulate Britain and make people think about different things, but we can all own that term, own the concept, and insulate where you can.
Isn't there a problem with a lot of Edwardian properties about insulating them? Isn't that a part of the problem?
You've got sometimes issues with a house being designed to breathe in a certain way.
Yeah.
But if you ventilate it, it's fine. There's an absolute no-brainer if you've got a loft to be insulated.
Right.
Cavity walls are the next most efficient thing that you can do.
It's not too disruptive either, is it? You can drill a hole and just fill it with the sort of foam that expands.
Precisely. These things are done within hours. So the disruption to your life is absolutely minimal. And again, wise tales, maybe I shouldn't use that term. There are these rumours going around that if you get your loft insulated, you lose the use of your loft. Not true at all. Insulation goes down, and then new floorboard-like surface put over the top. So you've got exactly the same storage capacity, but your home is going to be a ton warmer.
How well insulated are you?
I'm pretty well insulated.
Only pretty well insulated?
Well, I've currently I'm looking to get permission to do work on the roof.
OK.
Because I've noticed that above every single room, every room which has got exposed or uninsulated room above it is freezing. So you have to work from the top down, and I'm in the process of doing my time now.
And speaking of working from the top down, do you think the government needs to lead by example and switch off some of the government lights, and all the big iconic buildings across the capital, or indeed the country, could turn their lights off as part of a national effort?
I think that's precisely where we are, so I couldn't agree more.